Okay, so I'm here with Alex Katz,
Hello.
and we are doing a reply to Alistair one last time. This is like the last tango I'm going to have with him, and my experience of it with him has been pretty unpleasant. And he seems to be upset that I called his audience scum. I've never called him scum. I think he claims that I called him scum. I've never called him scum, right? I've never called him names. I don't approve of his behaviour. He associates with scum, right? So it does reflect on him. He's an enabler of toxic behaviour. So anyway, City Crusher had a debate with this Alistair guy, and then I had a debate with him, and he was actually very, very rude to me. I didn't realise he was playing video games as he was speaking to me, and towards the end, he was just starting to speak over me and not let me finish my points. And then he was replying to super chats as well instead of listening to me. So he's very, very rude, actually. So I've learned something from this. I'm never going to have a debate with anyone who's playing a video game. I didn't realise he was playing a video game because I wasn't watching his stream. I was just in the Discord channel talking with him. I didn't see he was playing a video game while I was talking to me, right? Because I would have objected to that. I didn't realise. But in the future, I'm going to check. So this Alistair superficially covers men's issues like the cost of living crisis, okay? And other PMC members thought we should talk to him. And and so he did. And I wasn't very hopeful. And because I think people don't understand our ideology or believe in it, I'm not going to be effective. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. They frame issues wrong. And this guy's not really a men's issues channel anyway. So this guy was giving me the dance around another debate. Literally, he would agree with me on something. I'll correct him on something. He would agree with me, and then 10 minutes later, he would repeat the same false talking point again.
Yes.
That's when he agreed with me. He didn't always agree with me, but if he did, he'll just repeat the false. So he's like an NPC in that regard, just like repeating a bot script over and over.
Yes.
So anyway,
Yeah, he's stuck on a script. So
yes. Anyway, there's another member who's interacting with, and he was really, and he wasn't abusive, but his community was really abusive to this member on the show screen caps. And one of the people that was really abusive to this member, Base Crusher, was someone who was very rude to me in voice chat. So after the hangout, I was in voice chat just talking to them, and he was mocking me for being British, and I think he called me the C word, right? He was just calling me names. So I snapped back and I called him names, and because he was a mod, he kicked me from the voice channel. I DM'd Alistair about it. He ignored my DMs. We'll show the DMs later, right?
Yes.
And I got kicked from the Discord channel completely. So he enables this behaviour. And I'll tell you what this community is about. So they're full of trad cons who rant on about women as sluts and whores, not being able to start a family, like women sleeping around damages civilization, and women sleeping around causes mental illness. And they talk about, and in their voice chats, they talk about killing elites a lot as well, murdering them. That's why he wears a Luigi hat. Because these people think if they kill enough elite men, right, if they kill these elite men, they'll be able to get the girlfriend. That's what they actually believe deep down in their hearts. This is what these people are. So they're prone to violence like right wingers are.
Yes.
Yes.
So we can just, yeah.
We could go for the screen caps.
Yeah, right away.
We've got evidence.
Yes.
We've got receipts.
We'll just show you what these people are like. Mm-hmm. So what's this one? Announcements. Who's this?
That's a loudmouth American who's rude to me.
Yes.
He told me that they did this boundary violation. He just kept on bringing it up. So what he was doing, he just kept on bringing up that I was British passively aggressively all the time, mocking my accent. Right, yes. And I was thinking, like, dude, you're American. You're in the last position to do this to anyone. Right? So he was doing you either put up with it and it escalates, or you stick up for yourself and you're cool, and they ban you. So it's toxic gatekeeping.
Yes.
Basically, yes. So
I'll
rate them again.
Yeah.
It's getting support for it. It's like people are upvoting that. Oh, it's only one upvote, but what a weirdo.
Yes, calling it BASED, based. So
yes.
Rape threats are based.
Yes. Oh my God. And he's being sarcastic. We're so evil. Reddit negative corner are awful for sending him rape threats. You later, nigger. So it's really just cringe, basically. You know, like Alistair's polite enough when you're speaking to him, right? But he's actually very rude later on. He's a passive aggressive. He's been very passive aggressive and weaselly, right? Yes. What can I tell you? The social dynamic. He thinks just like these people, so his henchmen act like this on his behalf, right? So he's got like plausible deniability and distance from it, but he agrees with these people 100%. These are his minions,
yes,
acting up like this. Yes, but he enables it.
I see that dynamic is very common with all these YouTube personalities on the internet. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes. So let's go to the next screen cap.
okay.
This is a different. That yellow. That's a mod color on the name. It's yellow in the Discord, right? In Elite's
Yes.
Discord, that's a mod. Can
Yes.
you off yourself already, you lame duck faggot? So homophobia and
Yes.
glorification of suicide. So telling yourself to commit suicide, that's pretty bad. That's vile behaviour.
Yes.
Have we ever done that
No,
once? Ever in the time of social media? No.
we've never told our ideological position kill yourself
Yeah,
or any of these
yeah,
lame names. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
So
Me and my audience, literal scum, I never called you scum, but okay, I called your audience scum, are about to expose by Mr. Big and Yellow, kings of men's rights, literally shaking and crying right now. The Luigi hats are done for because I don't blame women enough for men's problems, so it's straw manning me. And my audience are edgy arseholes. Okay, yeah. So using the N-word and tell people to kill themselves is being edgy. Having negative opinions on rich people, somehow anger men's rights advocates, that's a straw man. We're not angry, you've got negative opinions on that. So basically, you deflect blame away from feminism. You deny that feminism. Literally, you talk about the cost of living crisis, you're angry at rich men, and you ignore the fact that women are pushing you out of the workplace with affirmative action. So you're projecting your anger at the wrong place, actually.
yes.
And rich men just pound for women as well. So you're projecting your anger at the wrong place. That's what we're opposed to. My audience are edgy arseholes. Having negative opinions on rich people will somehow anger men's rights advocates. Some of it's somehow it's related.
Yes.
Get comfortable, grab your popcorn, get ready for a literal hour-long video crying about how me and my audience are literal scum. Popcorn and yawning. But he is really upset by this, so he's pretending he's not disinterested. Like, if you're disinterested, you wouldn't be going on about this.
Yeah.
Let's see the next one.
Yes. This is posturing. So yeah.
Yeah. Your mod made rape threats and used the N-word. One or two guys made rape jokes. Stop being a crybaby. Rape threat, N-word, and told someone to, that's a typo on my part, told someone to kill themselves. Ranting in general Discord about women being sluts. I should put their Discord is toxic. So yeah,
Yes.
the people don't care basically.
Yes.
You
Yes.
see that? Yes. You
Crying.
can look this thread's still,
Yes.
yeah, you can look this up yourself and take it down. They're all supporting this.
Yes.
So I promise you, if I treated him like this, if he came to my Discord and I treated him like this because I disagree with him, he'll be like outraged by the behaviour.
He would play
So
the
it'd be
victim.
like, yes.
Yes. So next screen cap. There's Gamma again, that American again. All right, here's some good advice for you. Fix your fucking mic. So replying to True, who's telling him didn't you call him a retard when he struck a nerve pointing women love you for your status and not you? So he replies with a
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm late. I'm gay, and I was having gay sex. That's what he posted. So homophobia, basically.
That's such a lame GIF response. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got this stored. You got to understand. You have to have this stored to reply with this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So he's got these already. Yeah. So this is who he is. Here's some good advice for you. Don't send people rape threats. Wow. I'm feeling romantical, nigger.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to give some constructive feedback to Base Crusher. Don't go back and forth with people like this and try and argue with them. Right.
Yes.
You just ignore them once you're done with them because these people are sick. But let's carry on.
Yeah, they want to wear down your energy. That's why you don't go and don't approach them.
Go back and forth with them. You don't go back and forth once you find out what they're like.
Okay.
Yeah.
This screenshot. So I'll read this. So True, our member Base Crusher linking to a Discord and telling Gamma, "You scared little guy." Gamma says,
Can I point out something else as well? Charles trying to get him to debate for some reason. I have no idea why. And invited him into our Discord, which I did not want to do. Do not invite these sorts of people into our Discord. We do not want them. We do not want to debate them. Full stop. We want nothing to do with these people.
Yes.
So that was another mistake right there.
This was a bad idea, based.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yes.
So
yes.
Gamma replies, "I'm not gonna debate you, little bro. 1, I saw your debate and it always goes full circle. 2, you don't even understand my viewpoints to debate me. 3, they're boring. 4, kill yourself."
I just wanted to interject. So towards the end, they were actually pressuring him not to talk to me anymore because it was boring. Right? Yeah. I noticed that. So what it is, it's they want to rant about women not being able to afford a wife and they said that we can't afford a wife and family. That was one of the main concerns, right? So their concerns are boring. I'm trying to explain to them why they can't, because women are pushing them out the job market and they're not interested. So that means they're not interested in fixing the problem. They just want to be mentally ill. They want to kill rich people, right, and just crash out. That's all they want to do. Well, they're not going to. They want to cheer on other people who do it, right? Because they
Yes.
can get off on the sadism vicariously. That's all they want to do. So they're just
Yes.
useless.
Yes. They go to Alistair's streams for catharsis, and they saw
Yes.
we were countering that. So that's
Yeah.
why they
Yeah.
were dropping these concerns, because they didn't like it. So, yeah.
So,
Yes?
so it goes, you sound mad. Why not just come on the PC Discord and have a chat with me? I mean, if you are this whole way, surely you'll be able to compete. No, just don't do that. Base Crusher, just don't. Okay? Didn't your butt buddy literally raise you off about Americans or some shit? So that's an out of context lie. This is a gaslighter. He was repeatedly abusing me for being British and mocking me for being British. And I just went to him, you're a loudmouth yank. You're in no position to speak, right? And your country's shit, which is so. I mean, I shouldn't have done that, but whatever. He did it first. There you
Yes.
go. Rape you later, nigga. There you
Yeah.
go.
Another.
Racism.
Yes. Another lame ass reply image. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. Next image is.
Oh, it's the same one again, isn't it? Wow, wow, goo, goo, ga. I'm feeling romantical. N
Yeah.
word. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Here's
Next
some.
one.
Yes. Okay. This is the same
It's the same one
stuff.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all of them then?
Let's see.
Oh, no, there's a new one. This is a new one.
Okay.
He said later, actually, but that's funnier. ATM, it's a one-on-one. Should I just move these niggers? Oh, so the gorilla, you have a low-cal infection, kill yourself. Do I have one? Nah, you're fine. So he talks like he's got internet brain rot, like he's from Kiwi
Yeah,
Farms.
I know.
Basically.
Yes, it's like
Yeah. This guy's
really.
a psychopath. And
Yes.
again, he was being abusive towards me, right, in the voice chat. And as soon as I started giving it back, he blocks me and kicked me. So he's a pussy, basically. Absolute pussy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's scary just how many online spaces just full of these low IQ troglodytes, just rage filled. Yes.
He's resentful weirdos. Like, yeah.
So, is there another screenshot? Yes.
They wanted me DMing Alistair to warn him about this. This is it. I have been blocked from the voice channel. I was assaulted for being British and called a retard. I lost my temper and called a guy names back. I got baited and got punished. I saw a screenshot of evidence.
Yes. So this is the trap.
Go to the bottom. No. Go to the bottom. This is the evidence. Go to the bottom. Go to the very bottom, please.
Yes.
Alistair. Message Alistair. Yeah, I've messaged. That's the proof I messaged him.
Yes.
He just ignored it. This is before I got banned. I sent it.
Yes.
Yes.
Alistair fosters this type of community.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Okay, is there
Yes.
anything? Yeah, okay, that's all the screenshots. So
let's watch the first 5 minutes of his stream, and then we'll jump to 20 minutes in.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. It looks like audio's working. Yo, Gamma, say something. See if this is working on your end.
That's Gamma. You see, he's on his stream with him. You see
yes.
that? So he's,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's promoted.
Yes.
After saying all that shit in his Discord.
Is there dead space in this, by the way?
No.
At the beginning?
No.
All right.
It gets...
Right,
yeah. Talks about us pretty quickly.
Cool.
Right.
Cool. What's up, Space Builder E? Looks like it's working on my end. So cool. Alright. Okay, yeah, this is totally working. Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to my tiny corner of the internet. So, in today's video, we're going to be addressing, the ongoing drama that just seems to never be ending with the pro-male community, or the pro-male collective, which is kind of weird, is because the fact is I figured that, we could have had some good discussions previously and find some...
Pause.
Yes.
So, this is gaslighting 101. You were not willing to engage. You were completely... you was playing video games over me, bro. And you was, silencing me and shutting me down. You weren't paying attention as well. So you're just close-minded. So you was given a chance and you failed.
Yes.
Again, and it's not even agree to disagree. You're just rude and obnoxious.
Yes.
find some like common ground to talk about the cost of living crisis and how that affects like, you know, young men. You know, I really would have thought that.
Okay, if women are pushing men out of jobs due to affirmative action and higher education, and women are far more easier. I think I talked about how women it's a lot easier for women to get jobs than men, didn't I?
Yes,
I
you did.
remember.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Did he disagree with me there? I don't remember even disagreeing with that.
No, I don't remember. But he just started controlling about how that's like good. Oh well, 500 years ago, fathers could sell their daughters off for money.
Which is a lie, by the way. We're going to debunk that later.
Yes.
Okay. So we were talking about the cost of living crisis indirectly. If men are being pushed out, if men are being the cost of living crisis is a euphemism anyway. It's not. Men can't get. Women are not interested in men. Crisis. That's what you mean when you talk about this.
Yes.
You Louis wearing psycho. So let's keep on going.
Yes.
We are going to like go down this route and have some good discussions. It's because, like, as you already know, I'm somebody who talks on this channel a lot about the cost of living crisis. I talk about how that affects ordinary people. I talk about how that affects particularly young men when it basically destroys the ability of family formation. Okay, you know, so
it doesn't destroy the ability of family formation because women have always been forming families in poverty. It makes women deselect men for being too low status due to female hypergamy. Okay, so let's get that euphemism out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
About this like quite a bit, you know, on my channel. And so when these guys approached me, they wanted to talk about a previous video, you know, from God knows like years ago. You know, it was a video when I was talking more about cultural issues. I hadn't talked about cultural issues in perhaps, you know, 2 or 3 years. Probably 2 years is probably the accurate one. I'm not too terribly sure, but I've been mostly focusing on like cost of living crisis related stuff. So, you know, when it came to, you know, cultural issues, it's just not my cup of tea. It's because right now, you know, an objective fact of reality.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about cultural issues. This is weird. Legal system and institutions are culture anyway. It's all cultural, so it's a false distinction that a lot of Marxists and left-wingers use to deflect. It basically means I don't want to talk about feminism and play where it squarely belongs. Okay, systematic discrimination in the job market and higher education is not a cultural issue. It's an institutional issue, right, Alistair? Okay, so you can't just dismiss it out of hand, calling it a cultural issue. Okay.
Yes, like it's a falsehood to make this separation between the culture from the institution in economics anyway. So they're all linked to each other.
Yes, if you're a Marxist, you'll know about base and superstructure theory. Yeah. Right. So.
What's up, old guardhouse? Hope you're doing well. But like, you know, an objective fact of reality.
I've just noticed something. You see that audience on the very left, the second left with the pink hair?
Yes, it's that. Yes.
That's what made the told the person go kill themselves. That's another one. Yeah.
Yes. That they're all in Alistair's close circle. Yes.
Yes.
Getting poorer in our country as, you know, the cost of living is getting infinitely worse. Yeah, you're going to have haters. Yeah, you're always going to have haters. And that's kind of the thing. It's like, so I figured these guys would have had common ground because they were MRA.
You're always going to have haters. That is just that is such a low IQ thing to say. It's not even an argument. You're always going to, like, when someone hasn't got anything of substance to say to what you say, they say, "Oh, you're just a hater," right?
Yes.
It shows you how dumb his audience are. Oh, you're just going to have haters. No, like we're calling out your behaviour, Alistair. That's what you're getting called out on. Like I didn't just randomly turn up and hated you, whatever that's supposed to mean.
No,
I didn't just go grrr, hate Alistair.
No.
I was very patient with you, considering how you treated me in that hangout, actually.
Yes, like you never attacked his character on stream. You were just talking about the situation of men being caused by feminism.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you don't know what an MRA is, they're just a men's rights activist, okay? And I usually don't really get into the loaded language about this stuff, is because I think it's a bit hyperbolic and a little bit stupid, right? But, you know, I found it quite odd that, you know, out of all the channels that they decided to reach out to do an interview over, they chose mine, is because the fact is there's
tens. I'll explain why. I wasn't interested in talking to you, to be honest, right? Again, there's some Promo Collective members who thought you might be on our side because you superficially talk about men's issues on a very superficial level. Okay, and the thing is, I think a lot of people, I've tried to explain to people over and over again, the manosphere and other people talk about issues are not on our side just because they superficially touch on them. That's not good enough. They have to share our ideology, or at least be willing to learn about it and be open-minded about it. Because if you don't, you're not going to frame the issues correctly, and you're always going to turn up to be feminists. Because this Alice is basically a feminist anyway, which we're going to prove. So yeah, that's it. So let's carry on.
Yeah, there's no shortage of figures who superficially support men, deliver superficial pro-male rhetoric.
They don't even call it superficial support. They touch on the issues, right, just to gain some traction. They don't even support them. Yeah.
Yes. That's why it's superficial. So yeah.
Yeah.
There's tons of channels that talk about men's issues. I'm a cost of living crisis channel, so I figured that they would have wanted to talk about something related to that, but they didn't. They wanted to talk.
Again, we did talk about something related to it. Men being pushed out the job market and higher education is related to the cost of living because it means men have less money. Yeah,
yes.
I think it's very easy to figure out. You just hand waved it away. So you don't give a shit about the young men who are being affected by this. So yeah, let's carry on.
What we're talking about is linked to what you were talking about. So yeah.
Yes.
Talk about cultural issues, okay? And I talked about this a little while ago. I've talked about it is that, we're going to attract haters. We're going to attract people who just want to sidetrack the entire time. I had figured from yesterday that, after the discussion, we had yesterday, that, things would have ended on a more positive note. But then I went to his channel.
Again, the way you treated me was very disrespectful, and you started interrupting me. You're speaking over me, and you were replying to super chats while I was speaking, interrupting me, which is very, very obnoxious and rude. It's very. If you're not doing it on purpose, it's very. I think you're doing it on purpose though. But if you're not doing it on purpose, it's very, very socially bad. It's very, very socially awkward. It shows a lack of self-awareness. You've got brainwash. You're part of an online cult, and your behaviour's being. You got internet behaviour. You got internet brainwash behaviour. To be honest, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, like the way you behave, you don't have basic decency. So you ended it on a bad note with your behaviour. Okay, and again, if I wasn't verbally abused, and Base Crusher wasn't told to kill themselves and called the N-word by you or audience, not you, sorry, by your audience, by people associated with you, we would not have spoken about you again, right? Okay, you brought this on yourself by the way you behaved.
Yes.
Okay.
And I started looking at it, and I started going on it. I figured that, okay, debate with me and Alistair. Didn't really consider it a debate. It seemed like a good discussion. Okay, it seemed like it was like, okay, I didn't agree with everything. That's totally fine. Nobody has
a debate and discussion. I've noticed they try to get pedantic about whether it's a debate or discussion a lot of the time because they want to have plausible deniability, right? I've noticed that.
Yes.
It's like, oh no, it's not a debate. It's a discussion, okay, or a conversation, whatever. I've just noticed that little tactic.
It's a distinction that makes no difference. But
yes.
But to confuse us and distract us.
Yes.
To agree with everything. Until I see this, I'm like, City Crusher. I thought what's his name? This guy who just came on my channel yesterday told me that he didn't have a beef with me. That it seemed like we had a good conversation. And this guy, yeah, is he bad enough to be on the Ganges dumping list? Yeah, he's going to be dumped into the Ganges River, dude. 100%.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yes.
What was that? Wasn't that an implicit threat of violence?
Yeah, it definitely sounded like it.
Yes, dumped in the Ganges River. It sounds like one of the coded speaks so they can threaten people. Let's try to make it comedic. Ganges, dumped in the Ganges River. Yes. You see how toxic his audience is?
Yes.
Like, you're out of touch with reality, Alistair. Yeah. Again, right, I've had a conversation with you, Alistair. I got verbal abuse. I got called names. And one of my friends in the Pro-Male Collective community was told to kill themselves. Yeah? Yes. And the rape threats or rape jokes, whatever you want to call it, were directed at them. The thing is, it passes from rape joke to rape threat is when the person's telling them to go kill yourself, right? If someone's telling you to go kill yourself, they're talking about raping you. It's not really a joke. It's a threat. You can quite easily infer that from their behaviour, and this is what you enable. Okay, this is why we've got issues with you. Your behaviour is atrocious, and you're getting called out for it. Yeah, you're just another like twisted little Discord community, actually.
Yes.
The fact is, these guys are trying to sideswipe. This is the thing I hate about it. With these types of people, they will try to drag you into the culture war time and time again. One thing they'll never talk about is the cost of living.
It's not a culture war. It's not a culture war. Again, we're not part of the culture war. We're part of the Promo Collective, and we're trying to fight for systematic institutional change and raise awareness. And a lot of it is cultural. Feminists try and hijack the culture, like I've tried explaining to you. Feminists have taken over comic books, video games, movies, anime even. Yeah, there's a reason why they do this, because if you control the culture, you control the narrative, you control the discourse, and you influence society, and then it stems into institutional changes that eventually it ends up in legal changes and changes in the education system. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's all holistic.
Yes. The way men are pushed out of higher education and jobs is a result of culture. Feminists in charge of the culture attacking men through institutions.
We've proven this. These online, it's very easy. You can look this up yourself, right? These online verification laws have links to feminist groups, lobbying for them for over 10 years now. Yeah?
Yes.
They've been pushing for them over and over again, and they've gotten them. There are direct links, and you just want to put your head in and say, ignore it. Okay, let's carry on.
Particularly how that affects ordinary men at all, okay? So I go to it, and I see City Crusher. He's right here. I'm glad we dealt with this liar the way that I did. No regrets. I wouldn't act like that myself, but he has proven that he's deserved that treatment from you. What treatment?
Yes.
I brought you on my channel.
Yes.
Yes, and again, you brought me on your channel. You little gaslighter. You brought me onto your channel. You were disrespectful in the debate, which I let go, right? And then your admin, right? Your admin verbally abused me and called me names for no reason, totally unprovoked, and he told them to go kill themselves. Yeah, I messaged you about it while I was still in the Discord group, and you ignored the message, and then I was booted and banned because he's your buddy. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about City Crusher. There's a difference between you and me in Promo Collective. I did not approve of the way City Crusher spoke to you because he was being a bit too hostile. Okay, I was polite to you. I controlled myself more. But I can understand why he was hostile to you, because you're annoying, right? But we still didn't approve of it. And I had a personal conversation to him because I hold my friends to account, right? I had a personal conversation to him and said, I didn't lay into him. I said, I don't agree with what you did, right? And he says, no, I disagree. Right, and we just agreed to disagree, right? But I didn't just like validate him and side with him automatically because of an in-group bias, right? I just disagreed with him about his behaviour, right? And that was it. Okay, he didn't behave that badly per se. He was just a bit grumpy and a bit snappy, right? Your behaviour's far worse, Alistair. But because we're not just a mindless cult, we hold each other to account. You do not. Your butt buddy, right? Your friend, yeah. Okay, he's going around doing rape threats to people all the time, yeah? Okay? He's telling people to go kill themselves, right? Right? He's using the N-word. He's acting really deranged, and you don't care because he's your friend.
Yeah.
So you're an enabler. You're an enabler. So he reflects on you, and you reflect on your character. Your character is just like his character, and he's a scumbag. I'm just saying. Right? If you don't want to be like him, you got to like disown him. Or at the very least, you got to go to him. Look, I don't approve of your behaviour. Do not act like that around me, or I'm going to have to exclude you from my community. You got to at least warn him. But you're not going to do it, are you?
No, Alistair, we're going to show that you actually endorse and enable your community members who engage in this threatening behaviour to us.
Yeah. So, shall we just jump to it right now? Shall we just jump? Because I don't want to do much more of this.
Yeah, might as well. So let's see. I think it's close to here.
Status. Men. Those are not my words. You can find that in the description of the video.
Yeah, I could blast that in the video and talk about it, because a couple of people in the comment section talk that. It's like, is this the beef that you have with us, City Cucker? Are you? Yeah. I know. Are you gonna? Like, is that the reason?
Okay, City Cucker. That's just lame. You know, using cuck like that.
The reason why you're mad at my audience is because we hate rich pedophiles and we wear the green hat.
So pedo smearing right there. Pedo smearing right there. So the guy that Luigi killed, was he a paedophile?
No.
Yeah? No. So you see, there's no more evidence that rich people are more likely to be paedophiles than poor people, right? There's probably no evidence whatsoever. So you're just pedo smearing. This is a Nazi tactic. This is a far right tactic. You're pedo smearing your political opponents because you got deep envy and resentment of being low status. And look, I'm an anti-capitalist, right? Okay. So, but I realise that if you kill rich people, it's not going to change the core dynamics, because women are still going to bypass your audience for being low status and go with more high status people. You'd actually have to kill the entire middle class.
Yes.
Right, before women start selecting your audience.
Yes.
To be honest, yes.
Like,
so we are just against the misplaced aggression and misplaced anger. Like you basically don't want to downplay hypergamy. Women are always going to go for high status men. billionaires and millionaires and trillionaires behave the way they do because that's what gets them selected by women. Elon Musk has got like 12 children or something ridiculous like that. They don't even know how many children he has exactly, actually.
Yes.
So he's been breeding women left, right, and centre. That's who women pick. Women pick Elon Musk over your audience. That's just the facts. I'm not taunting them when I say that. That's just the facts. You can't accept it.
Yes. At the end, like, capitalism is a systemic issue. Like, murdering billionaires is just going after individuals. It's going to change nothing. Yeah.
We don't like them, that we're all just an audience of jealous losers or some shit, or political nerds like you.
You're jealous, yes. Yeah, they'll do it. Yes, you're right about that, yeah.
We don't like pedophiles. Oh no, we're like...
Actually, Gamma, you hate rich pedophiles because you're jealous of them, not because they made...
That's straw man. That's a straw man. No, you hate the rich and you smear them as pedophiles because you're jealous of them. There's a distinction there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Housing unaffordable and then mock you from it through the World Economic Forum.
No, they do pause. They do make housing unaffordable, but here's another thing: is hypergamous women want luxurious living spaces. Bourgeoisie behaviour, luxury spending, is done to attract women, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So put your blame there if you want.
Yes.
But you won't. Okay. Let's carry on.
Because you're jealous.
Let's focus on this bit.
Oh, yeah,
also, can we also draw attention to the fact that with your post today, one of the biggest actors' complaints was that someone made quote-unquote, well, I hate algo speak, but grape threats and said the N-word.
Oh, dude, they hate the fact that we're politically incorrect. We don't give a shit about culture war stuff. Politically correct retardation.
Yeah.
There
he is. He's dismissing out of hand. He doesn't care. So he's replied to that. He says, "Oh, they just hate the fact we're not politically correct and we hate culture wars." So he knows it happened. Wait, I showed him screen caps, so he knew anyway.
Yeah.
So okay, so he was lying in his hangout with me, and we're going to debunk the lies by reading a Reddit post. That's very well done, and then we're going to end this stream.
Yes, but yeah, here you go. He was enabling his community to make rape threats. Yes.
It's interesting that he chooses Griffith to be his avatar, right?
Yeah,
because what does Griffith do in Berserk? So Griffith gets maimed and crippled, and he sacrifices all these male followers, right, to gain power. And it's also done out of jealousy because he sees Casca and Guts getting together as well, right?
Yes.
These people would do that. They'll sacrifice 1 million men to get the girl.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes. It's like, Okay, so here's the excellent Reddit post on City Crusher YT.
Exercise delicious, being an egalitarian, balancing accounts.
Yes.
So let's read this.
Okay. You cannot
balance. So let me read it, please. Right. You cannot balance accounts with an account of history. You cannot be egalitarian. You cannot balance the scales when you have no account of history. This is akin to wanting to solve the conflict between Israel and Palestine and thinking that this all started on October 7th, 2023. We witness this historical blindness whether people try and critique the modern machinery of feminism, family law, or state-enforced marriage contracts. The moment you point out current systematic issues, a self-proclaimed egalitarian, in quotes, or inevitability would pop up to derail the conversation with uneducated, weaponized historical myths. That's a polite way of saying historical lies.
Yes.
Falsehoods. Yeah. For instance, a certain Berserk-inspired character recently said something along the lines of, he's talking about Alistair, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we need these systems because 500 years in Europe, fathers literally sold their daughters as brides. I just want to point out something as well. Even if it was true, which is not, it's still not relevant. Like, if we tried pointing out a problem that affected men 500 years ago to talk about a current issue that affected women today, we would just be laughed at and told it's irrelevant, right?
Yes.
If you tried that. But they don't hold themselves to the same standard.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Well, anyway, we need these systems because 500 years ago in Europe, fathers literally sold their daughters as brides. Women had zero economic agency. Boomers were blindsided by courts starting to take advantage of men to extract their wealth. Okay. There's a lot of recency bias that this person is committing. There's an older post here, we'll look at that another time, that covers some of this, and it appears that we need to bring this up again. This is a multi-layered flaw in perspective. Let's look at the actual historical hardware to understand why this tactical argument is completely wrong. It's a deflection attempt, basically.
Yes.
The myth of this. So when he was talking about sold brides, I thought he was talking about arranged marriages between the
Right.
aristocracy,
Yeah.
and that happened then as well. Like plenty of male aristocrats were forced to marry women to make family connections. Like Frederick the Great was gay, right, and he was forced to marry a woman,
Yes.
for example.
Yes.
So that was in the 1760s, roughly. The myth of the sold bride. When people look at early European law, they see old Germanic word for bride price. I'm not going to try and read in the German and translate it using a modern commercial dictionary. They imagine a livestock market. Historians, linguists, and anthropologists have thoroughly debunked this. Like, it doesn't matter how much it's debunked; these people still repeat it.
Yes.
The insurance bond, the midderum guardianship fee, was paid by the groom to a father and was not a commercial purchase. It was mathematically pegged to the Wohlgeld, the literal legal value of a human life to settle a murder blood feud. The screening process, the father was demanding a massive financial deposit up front. This served as a high capital barrier to vet the groom, proving he had the resources to protect the woman. So this is like formalized hypergamy for the woman when you think about it.
Yes, it is.
The indirect endowment. The father did not pocket this money. Legally, it was held in a trust and transformed into a mourning gift, which became the exclusive personal property of the bride. If the husband abused her or died, the husband's family forfeited the deposit and the woman walked away with full financial autonomy. It was an insurance policy, not a sale.
Yes.
Let's carry on.
Yeah, that shows you that the system that gets smeared as men owning and selling women was actually there to protect women. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Okay, because I can't. And he brought up like a Shakespeare play 500 years ago. Like, come on, dude, shut up about Shakespeare. So that's not relevant to what I'm talking about. So it's weird. Have you noticed the double standard? So we're not allowed to talk about culture stuff, but he's allowed to bring up Shakespeare from 500 years ago. That's a weird double standard there.
Yes.
Detractors love to point to historical frameworks like coverture, where a married couple was viewed as a single legal entity under the household, as absolute proof of female slavery. They completely ignore the massive liability trade-offs. Coverture is not slavery because they're a joint entity. It's not coverture, the woman's under the man's control. They're a joint entity. She gets to share in the man's wealth and assets.
Yes.
That's what coverture is. The debt trap. The moment a man married, he legally inherited all his wife's pre-existing debts. A wife also held a legal right to buy goods and luxuries on her husband's credit. If the family went bankrupt, the husband was thrown into a freezing debtors prison, while the wife's personal marriage settlements and trusts were legally shielded from his ruin. The husband didn't own his wife; he insured her with his physical body.
Yeah.
Good, that's debunked.
And criminal immunity under coverture. If a married woman committed a civil crime, fraud, or property damage, the law legally presumed she was coerced by her husband. The state did not prosecute her; it arrested, sued, and fined the husband. This is yeah.
Carry scrolling down.
Yeah.
So the idea that that using a courtroom to strip a man of his resources is a modern invention that shocked boomer men is historically illiterate. For over 500 years, England's Court of Equity, that term's very familiar, Chancery, routinely bypassed standard marriage laws to establish separate state trusts. So it's like how the family courts now don't obey their own laws, right? They just do what they want. Lucking husbands out of family wealth while guaranteeing wives independent incomes. If a couple separated, ecclesiastical church courts regularly issued mandates for separate maintenance, alimony, throwing insolvent husbands into debtor prisons until they complied. So modern day problem. This is not new. For over a millennium in Ottoman and Persian Sharia courts, wives routinely used the mehar, marriage endowment, that they were still imprisoning men in Iran over this up until recently. I think they scrapped it like a couple of years ago. Endowment system as a legal sword, utilising local justice to freeze the husband's commercial businesses and liquidate assets for domestic maintenance. How about some other historical facts about divorce? Scroll down.
Here we go.
No-fault divorce got critiqued as being a main driver of breaking families today. But did you know on September the 5th, 1969, as Governor of California, Ronald Reagan signed the Family Law Act of 1969, making California the very first state in the United States to institute a pure no-fault divorce framework. No-fault divorce law came from Ronald Reagan. Now, would he have signed such a framework in? No-fault divorce is a false label. It's actually male-fault divorce because it puts all the liability on the man.
Yeah.
Okay. because women were abusing the system of before divorce, just as they're abusing it today. Scroll down.
Yes.
Under the old system, a person could only secure a divorce if they legally proved their spouse had committed a severe fault, such as adultery, extreme physical abuse, or abandonment. If both spouses desperately wanted to separate but neither committed a crime, they were legally trapped. A lot of the time, the man would pretend to do something and take the blame so he could get the divorce. Right, that happened quite a lot. Couples would conspire to fabricate evidence. There you go. But a lesser studied version in one of which the wife would fake being abused by the husband to get to enjoy a divorce with goodies. So scroll down.
Yes.
Nothing has functionally changed with no default divorce law. It's very simple to claim that no default divorce is the issue, but divorce itself has been weaponized by women for centuries. And even in traditional settings still is. The Murhouse system is a perfect example of this. Alistair was quick to point out a fictitious point in history in Europe that women were sold as brides. But in Iran and other Muslim countries today, men are being jailed for not being able to produce the equivalent of millions in the currency as per slave agreements they signed to get the female companion into their life. So that's the marriage debt slavery. You sign a contract that says if the relationship breaks up, you have to pay the woman this amount of money, basically. Yes. Right? Did you know that countries that were dominated by Catholics were the latest to adopt the female vote and emancipation in general? Why? Because women were able to divorce their husbands already under their religion. Scroll down. Nothing has changed about these issues. I think it's helpful to revisit how we frame certain issues and avoid painting things as being uniquely happening in our time. It gives detractors the privilege of downplaying issues as a hiccup bump on the road that we can buff out, or adapting passages to see as a novel solution to newfound problems. Pointing to history can serve to center the conversation. It teaches us that there's a backlog of solutions that have previously failed to solve the very systematic issues we're faced with today. There you go.
There we go, yeah.
Very good post. Very high quality. So the Pro Mail Collectors is not me, it's not just you, it's not just us two, it's not just City Crusher.
No.
It's a collective effort where everyone chips in.
Yes. And we've got the most advanced understanding of our issues.
Yes.
More advanced.
Their understanding is just kill the rich. And if you try to explain things to them, they just get hostile and abuse you. And I'm going to say something, right? I hope these men remain deselected for their entire lives because they're just hostile. And their bitterness just makes them hostile. I hope they never get a girl. Yeah. To be honest, they don't deserve that.
Yeah, I can't. Yes. It's like, I can't wish them any good fortune.
The thing is, they're so stupid, they're not wanting to fix the problem themselves. Like, more men would be able to get girlfriends and wives if they weren't getting pushed out the job market. It's just, and they're not interested in this. No. So, whatever.
Yes.
I'm done for now. I've said all. Have you got anything to add?
I mean, just, enjoy sitting in the bucket, stewing in resentment. That's all I can say to you, Alistair. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Over and out.